I poured 3 concrete slabs to see if quick setting concrete is better than regular concrete. This is my life, folks. And I tell you what, one of them was a disaster. Oh my God, we got a hole in the bucket. It's probably not the one you're thinking about. There are a lot of options for concrete, and I wanted to figure out which one is the best. So I went with kind of the cheapest version here with Quickcrete, which is about $6.50 a bag. Then I wanted to check out this fast setting, because if you have to get this project done quickly, what does that look like? This is only $8 a bag, or stepping all the way up to this rapid set, which they say this can be mixed in like an hour, but it is $17 a bag. So I've actually got 3 pads to do, and I'm gonna do 1 pad with each of these and find out which one works best and how they look. All right, the first thing that we need for pouring a concrete pad is a good foundation for the pad. And part of that is being level. We're here on the side of FTBT HQ2, which is our new building that we're building. We've got a whole channel on that. It's called Workshop Goals. You can check that out somewhere around here. But basically, we're gonna have 3 pads out here for 3 outdoor condensers to AC this whole thing. So I went ahead and laid them out, and the pads that I'm gonna go with are 20 inches by 40 inches, and I want them 16 inches apart for airflow. But what we need to do is kind of level this up, because our ground right now is a bit humped up, and the pad, being 20 inches deep, would be tilted. So I need to remove all this grass and then build it back up with some dirt so that we can then have a nice foundation to build our form. I'm just gonna tamp some of this down. Looks like I still got a little bit to go. I like to tamp down maybe like every couple inches. So doing a combo of tamping and watering is gonna make sure that it gets just nice and real settled, and it's not gonna shift on you afterwards. Okay, if you are doing a larger area like this, you can just use a 2x4. If you can find a straight one, put it on there and just kind of check your overall level. We're a little high down here. I mean, these low spots are fine because, again, we're gonna have gravel on top of this. So we're not trying to get exactly perfect. I could probably just leave it like this, but I won't, because that's what I do. I feel like all I'm doing is moving dirt around the property, because we cleared out dirt for the shop and made big mounds. And then if you remember the floating deck, which we're gonna be coming back and visiting soon, moved more dirt from that, which is here. I'm just moving dirt around the property. That's all I do, just move dirt. It all eventually goes somewhere, which is kind of nice. All right, so this is just the state of lumber these days. This was one of the boards we got in a delivery from, I don't remember exactly who it was, but look at this thing. Thinking, hey, this would be great for a concrete form. But then again, that is insane. I wonder how much of the rest of my wood got eaten up by these suckers, or if this was eaten up before it got kiln dried, but I mean, I've been working out, but I didn't know I've been working out that good. Just snapping 2x4s in half. Let's go find another one. And if you use your offcut to mark the next one, you should be pretty well square, or the same length, I guess. All right, so nothing fancy on these. This is just a 2x4 form, and it doesn't have to be assembled on like a flat surface, because what's gonna happen is once we put this in place, we're gonna shim it all level with the stakes. And before I put the form on there, I am gonna just soak it one more time with some water, and we're gonna have gravel down on top of this, but again, I just don't want any of the concrete to get dried out too fast with the water sucking down. Obviously it's gonna be on the gravel, but you know, whatever. All right, now you don't want your form running around on you when you got it down there. You want it to stay nice and firm. So I cut some little 1x2s here and cut a little spike on them. But I'm just gonna pound these down into the ground, and then we can level up the form and screw these to it. So my form looks pretty level. I'm gonna go ahead and anchor one of these in there. Let's do the same thing on the other side. All right, so we are nice and level front to back, but one thing you wanna make sure is that the water is gonna shed away from the building. So typically what you wanna have is a 1/4 inch drop for every 1 foot. So we're at 20 inches, which is just a little bit over 1.5 feet. And so I'm gonna wanna have 3/8 of an inch of fall between the back of my form and the front of my forms. Now, instead of trying to like read the bubble, I've got these little cardboard shims. These are 1/8 of an inch a piece, and you can use whatever material you have on hand. But if I stack 3 of them, that'll be 3/8. And so if I put one on the front here, and when I'm right at level, that means I actually have a 3/8 of an inch drop. I'll do that on both sides and then lock it in place. And after we pour our concrete up, we're gonna wanna have full access to the top, and these stakes are gonna be in the way. So I'm just gonna chop off the top of them with a little multi-tool. All right, all 3 forms are done and leveled, and they're looking great. Now we need to put some rock in here. You can use any kind of rocks. I'm just using some all-purpose stone here that's bagged. So I'll put this in and tamp it down. And we only want like 1 inch or so. Now it looks like 1 bag is gonna be just about perfect. All right, after tamping that down, I think it's pretty good. Yeah, that puts me right about 2.5 inches. That's gonna be perfect for a pad. 2.5 to 3 inches, awesome. And we're gonna put some remesh in there to really strengthen it up too. All right, so I want to get some strength into these. It's so small, honestly, you probably don't need any rebar, but I didn't want to use thick rebar, so I bought a sheet of remesh, which should actually give me all of these. I'm going to cut this to size and go ahead and get it ready so that when we're about halfway through the pour, I will insert it into the pour at that point, but you definitely want to have it cut and ready to go. All right, we're ready to start pouring, and one thing I almost forgot to do, and everybody almost forgets, is putting mold release, AKA some WD-40. So spraying WD-40 around the form is just gonna help the wood release once you take it off and the form is done. So if you don't do that, then you could have a really hard time. Worst case scenario, you might rip some of the actual slab off as you're pulling it off, if some of that concrete kind of gets into the pores of the wood. So grab some WD-40, it smells amazing. Reminds me of my dad. We're just gonna slather it on there. And I am gonna give the rocks one last little sprinkle of water. Again, just because you're just trying to keep that concrete as moist as possible for as long as possible, let it dry on its own. And don't go crazy and wash off all your WD-40. This is what we're gonna start with for our first pour, Quikrete 5000. This is just kind of your basic concrete, $6.50 a bag. It takes a while to set up, so 10 to 12 hours, they say, before you can walk on it. And so you have a little bit more working time, which is nice, but it definitely is gonna take a long time to reach full strength, 28 days to get up to that 5,000 pounds PSI compressive strength, which is what that stands for. So I'm gonna mix 2 bags at a time, and it takes about 4 pints of water, 2 quarts, if you're fancy. So I'm just gonna start mixing, but it always seems too dry when we put the water in there, so we'll see how it is. But I'm just gonna mix it in one of these tubs and pour the water in there and get my hoe and let's go. You don't wanna go huffing concrete dust, so you know, you're obviously gonna be doing this outside, but kind of do it downwind. Don't get a face full of this stuff. That's not good for your lungs. I'm just gonna kind of make a little hole here in the middle and put that water right in there. We're just gonna start with this and just start incorporating it and see where it gets us. Then we do what everybody does and just keep adding water until you go overboard. Because it's a lot easier to work when it has more water. All right, now we're just gonna put it in, and I could just dump that in here, but it's 100 pounds. Actually, it's 120 pounds, plus water. I'm not gonna do that. All right, I'm just evening it out now. I'm not really trying to smooth it out, just get it even because I'm gonna put my remesh in. But before I do that, I'm gonna make sure I got good coverage into my corners. All right, I got my remesh, and by the way, when you cut this stuff super sharp and it's rusty, it's like a free tetanus shot. I mean, a free ticket to go get a tetanus shot, because I already sliced my leg up, got my Band-Aid on there. We'll be fine. But I'm gonna put it in here and just press it in so it doesn't come up, because you don't want it popping out the front or the sides or the top. So kind of make sure it gets in there. I'm definitely gonna need one more bag. Good tip that I'm not following is put your tools in a bucket of water when you're not using them, unless you just want them to be completely caked in cement. Am I the only person that always gets those two mixed up, concrete, cement? I believe cement is a part of concrete, with other things. So it's not cement, it's concrete. All right, that's everything I got. Let's see if you think that's gonna be enough. All right, now we're just gonna screed this back and forth and get a straight edge, and see, this is not even touching it. So unfortunately, that is just not gonna do it. Dadgummit. All right, maybe I'm gonna make a half bag. Note to self, 39 inches wide, not 40 inches wide, and I think we would have made it. Here's how to cut a bag of concrete in half. Put it over a shovel, slice right down the middle, then lift up the shovel. Half bag of concrete. We're just gonna go ahead and give it a little extra love, because we know we're gonna need it. Now, this really is a better two-person job than a one-person job. You can have somebody mixing, somebody pouring. Just do it all yourself and be tired. Before I start screeding this, I'm gonna pull out my secret weapon that I just made. DIY vibrator. If you've ever seen concrete vibrators, funny name, but they do what they're called. They vibrate concrete, and the whole idea, you can vibrate the form, you can use like a Sawzall or random orbital sander and vibrate that to try to get some of that out, but a concrete vibrator really kind of gets down in there and just loosens it all up. So that's what we're gonna do. So where you really want to do this is around the edges, because that's where, you know, the concrete, a lot of the air gaps are. Oh boy. Vibrators can get messy sometimes. Be careful out there. I don't know how effective that really was, but it was fun. And remember, always clean your vibrator. Whoa. Good as new. Back to the screeding. This is a family show, folks. A concrete vibrator is what it is. And I'm just kind of going back and forth, screeding it, and then pulling extra concrete back here. So you kind of just screed a little, come back a little, remove blades of grass. By the way, I have no idea what I'm doing here. I mean, yeah, I'm just a dude on the internet mixing concrete. I'm not an expert. For entertainment purposes only. That wasn't extremely obvious. Now we got it nice and level, we can just kind of work it. And just kind of pushing those aggregates down and bringing up the water. You can tell how much water's on here, and I definitely overmixed it with water, but don't we all? All right, so it's in there. Actually, I got some concrete on the wall and I was hosing it down and some overspray got on there. So there's a little bit extra water on top, but we're just gonna let it dry. We wanna let it dry for maybe 30, 45 minutes until you can just press your thumb into it and it leaves a little bit of an indentation, not just goes all the way down, which it would do right now. So we're gonna let this sit up, clean out that bucket, and just jump right into the next one. I think I feel a lot better now about doing this. It's been many, many years since the last time I did concrete. It's like riding a bike. very dirty, heavy bike. All right, up next we have the fast setting concrete mix, and this is also from Quikrete, but this goes substantially faster. This one says sets hard in 20 to 40 minutes. So we went from 10 hours to 20 minutes. So we gotta be fast when we do this one, and if you're gonna be mixing it, maybe mix it later in the day. If you mix it while it's hot, it's gonna go even faster, and use cool water instead of hot water, unless you just love running against the clock. So these bags are $8 a piece, and so it's pretty much the same price as the other one, $1.50 more a bag. And I guess that does scale up, but it's gonna set up in a matter of minutes instead of hours. So let's jump in. All right, so because this does go fast, I'm gonna do 2 bags at a time, and I know that I'm gonna need 4 bags now, so we'll do 2 bags and then 2 more bags. And hopefully we can get it in time. Now this one does say that it takes a full 8 quarts, so a little bit more water for the fast set. And one thing that doesn't need a lot of extra water is plans from shop.fixthisbuildthat.com. If you're looking to do some woodworking this summer, if you want to build a shed, maybe a modern Adirondack chair, or even some shop storage, we've got plans to cover you with material and cut lists and step-by-step instructions. Our plans are going to help you be successful in your next build and just enjoy what you've built instead of worrying about how you got it done. So head on over and check them out. You're going to have a great build using these plans. I honestly don't know how they expect you to mix this based upon their recommendations. This is just so hard to work. I think these edges are gonna turn out horribly, quite frankly. All right, going in with our remesh. This is so dry. All right, the rapid set is rapidly setting. They should really tell you that. Honestly, I'm gonna probably do something I shouldn't do. I'm gonna do it anyway. No idea what that'll do. And we're gonna go wet on these bad boys. All right, in the comments, tell me everything I'm doing wrong, because I know it's a lot. Somehow I feel like I have way more of this in 3 bags than I did the other stuff. Probably because of the massive voids that are below it. When you got time for vibrating, see if we can salvage anything. Ladies and gentlemen, I hope you are enjoying this more than I am, because this is a disaster. All right, so this is setting up extremely fast, as they say. The mix is so dry, if you can take a look at that. There's just lots of pockets here. I'm trying to smooth it out, not having much luck, quite frankly. This may be the ugliest pad ever. I'm actually gonna try to put a little bit of water on top just to see if we can smooth some things over. Again, probably a horrible idea. All right, I'm gonna try to do some edging on this. It might be fruitless, honestly. Yeah, this is just complete disaster. Well, ladies and gentlemen, this is the portion of the video of how not to mix quickset cement. All right, now coming back to the golden child, I like to call Quikrete 5000, this guy, he honestly is probably not even quite ready yet. While this thing went nuclear, this guy's just over here chilling. But I'm gonna go ahead and try to cut an edge in just to save some face. Oh yeah. This is like butter. This is actually probably a little too early. but dang it, it feels good. All right, so lesson learned here today. First of all, maybe don't wear your mistakes were made t-shirt while you're doing the job. Maybe wait till afterwards. That said, go check them out. Mistakes were made t-shirts available on shop.fixthisbuildthat.com. But what we've learned today is that this, look at this is just rock solid already. So I think the lesson here is if you're gonna try to do multiple bags of either the fast setting, not even the rapid set, we didn't even get to that stuff, which goes even faster. If you're trying to do more than one bag, you gotta have two people, probably don't wanna do it by hand, have a mixer or something. I'm gonna go back to the drawing board, see if we can do this on the fast setting. We'll see how it turns out tomorrow, but whew, mistakes were definitely made. All right, next day, and this is definitely the tale of two slabs. So the first slab, our Quikrete 5000, actually looks pretty darn good. I got a little bit of that extra water on it, so it is a little bit light here, and I think that's because of the water that came off of the barn. But yeah, all in all, this guy is looking great, nice, smooth finish, and I'm looking forward to taking the form off. On the other hand, our quick set looks like an absolute abomination. I'm not excited to take the form off of this one, but I think all in all, like, it is a foundation for a mini split. I think it's gonna be okay. I may try to put some resurfacer on the top here just to smooth it out and make sure we can get good rain coming off. That's probably my biggest concern, is not the looks, is just that if there's any open cracks, water will get in there and freeze thaw and it'll start breaking apart. But I think what we can do is way better on this next product. All right, so for the last slab, we're gonna be using rapid set concrete mix. Now, this is even more aggressive, and this one will set in 15 minutes and basically be fully set up, full strength, in an hour. You might be thinking, Brad, you just screwed that one up. And you'd be right. But we're gonna mix this one a little bit different, and I think one of the keys here is that this product is meant to be mixed extremely wet, and so you can mix it in a bucket and kind of pour it in. Also, they have this stuff called set control, which will actually slow it down. So if you use one of these little baggies per bag here, it'll give you an extra, I think, 15 minutes. So that would give us 30 minutes total per bag. Now, these are not cheap. I think this total bag is 17 bucks, and then one of these little guys is an extra like $2 or $3. So you're talking, 2.5 times what it costs for the Quikrete. But I think for the workability, maybe this is gonna be the way to go, and maybe that's why the extra price is worth it. But there's only one way to find out. All right, I got everything laid out, and when you're working with rapid set, that's the most important thing, is just being fully prepped. So I've got my water buckets. The thing about this rapid set is it takes twice as much water than the other ones. And I'm gonna actually go with 5 quarts. So I got that from Michael Builds. Big shout out to Michael. He's like the concrete OG. He does a ton with rapid set. He also had that idea for the concrete vibrator. So you can check out his channel. I got a link below to it. Michael's awesome. Now, we're not gonna be hand mixing this. I am gonna be using a paddle mixer with my drill on low speed, because you just have to at this point. And honestly, I'm just gonna try to get this done by myself, because I think we can do it. We're only gonna need 3 bags for this. I am gonna mask up because there's gonna be a lot of dust going on, and I don't wanna be breathing that in. You merely live in the dark. I was born in it. And yeah, I'm gonna pour my water in, get my set control, and then add in the concrete into the water, and that's gonna make mixing a lot easier, and just try to mix it as it goes. Never done this before, but Michael made it look easy, so I think we can do it. Mix in the set control here first, and the set control is going to slow that down 15 minutes apparently. Now, that's probably going to be the trickiest part, is just pouring the bag in while I'm mixing. All right, here we go. All right, this is actually going better than I expected. All right, right off the bat, this is crazy liquidy. I may have gone too much water, but it's also gonna be easy to work with. I'm gonna go ahead and put my remesh in. on this first layer. I'm gonna need to clean off that. Try to get a little more accurate on this. Okay, that's about 2 quarts. Do my set control. Do we have a hole in the bucket? Oh my God, we got a hole in the bucket. I blew a hole in the bucket. Okay, this is no longer tool cleaning bucket. This is now mixing bucket. You've got to be kidding me. All right, maybe don't hit the side of the bucket so hard. Oh boy. All right, that was definitely less water, but it still looks really workable. So I'm gonna pour this in here. Geez, this is almost, we probably don't even need a full bucket, but I'm gonna mix a full bucket. This is the one with the hole in it, right? Okay, about 2.5. Also about 2.5. Set control. Did I just blow a hole? Has that got a hole in it?
This one's got a hole.
Well, now this one does too. No! Oh, we have blown a hole in our second bucket. All right, I'm gonna keep mixing. I think we can do it. I think we could do it with a hole in the bucket. All right, I think that's pretty good. Oh gosh, this is how things go south, folks. This is just soupy, 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 soupy. So I'm not even worried about vibrating it, honestly. But it's also not, I don't feel like it's setting up at all yet. So I feel pretty good. Now, if you do get something on your building, you want to get that off before it sets. Maybe next time, put up some protection if you have a wall that you're pouring up against is a really good idea. All right, start the screeding. So this is still really, really wet. So with that set control, and it is starting to rain a little bit. It wasn't supposed to rain until about 3, but it looks like we're getting a little early preview. Oh no! Grab me the tarps. Oh God. This is my life, folks. Radar said no rain till 3. We're gonna see if this passes over. Oh gosh. Well, I've got that on and I may as well just spray that down since that's protected. Okay, I got an idea. Ruined the tarp, but that's all right. There we go. A little tent I can work under now. All right, I'm just gonna go ahead and start floating this. Oh yeah. It's a little wet from that rain on there, so I'm just gonna try to get some of that excess off maybe. I gotta be honest, I mean, it's looking pretty good. If it wasn't for the rain, this would have gone really nicely. And this is not really getting hard at all yet. All right, so now I'm just gonna wait. Well, it's only been 20 minutes, and we put the extra 15 minutes in it, plus it's 15-minute set time, so 3 bags by yourself, with rain, with busted buckets. This actually went way better than I imagined, and it's because of all the extra water. And I may have gone a little heavy on the water, but by and large, it asks for twice as much water as the Quikrete option. And this is hydraulic cement, and it says it will cure underwater. So I think it'll be a little bit less strength with more water, but for what we're doing, completely fine. All right, it is now 11:26, so we have been almost right at 30 minutes. And I've been sitting here for about 10 minutes, just waiting for it to kind of harden up. I've got like PTSD from that last one, but I'm just gonna go ahead and start edging it and see what happens. Okay, so still probably a little early. All right, it's been about 5 more minutes, and this is definitely better. Still a little soft though, but I'm gonna go ahead and just cut it out. All right, I'm gonna go ahead and start working this with the trowel, and I'm sure many of you have already made comments down below. I was doing it in reverse last time. I was using the magnesium float at the end and this one at the beginning. Just, you know, not a professional, obviously. So the magnesium float is more for getting everything nice and level because it's longer, and then this one helps you feather it out. So this is like the finished trowel. It's what I should have been using at the end on the other one. And this leaves a way better finish than that magnesium trowel. I gotta be honest, guys. I feel about this one the best, the easiest to work with as far as pouring it out and mixing it. If it wasn't for the busted buckets and the rain, I think it would have been a breeze. I think this one's gonna be the best of all. All right, so the rain did come through, but we've got a little gap here, just about an hour. I've got my tools for demolding. Let's go check it out. I'm a little worried about how it turned out though. Oh no. So we tried to tarp it before we left. We did tarp it, but it looks like the rain actually knocked it down. Oh geez. Man, what a mess. And this has got dirt sprinkled all. I'm hoping this is just splashback, but let's check out. Oh yeah, nice and solid. Oh, perfect. It looks like that is actually just surface dirt. But we're gonna go ahead and demold these and see how they look. But this guy, ooh, it's nice and warm too. So it's kind of probably still curing just a little bit. All right, before I take these apart, just want to kind of look at them. But this is kind of like your nice light gray. Again, that's the Quikrete 5000, a nice surface finish here. This one was just a complete disaster, but it's so much more dark gray. So that quick setting from Quikrete, much more dark gray. And then the rapid set down here, this one is almost like white. So if you are thinking about, you know, if it's important to you what color they look, there's definitely major differences between these three. I should be able to pop this front out here. All right, let's see how this one comes out. Hey. Oh! Note to self, do not put your finger on the back of your drill, then back it out quickly, because it'll pinch your finger in between the drill and the foundation. Probably makes sense to put your screws on this way and make your inboards longer. The things you learn, the things you learn. All right. And these came off nice and easy with that WD-40. Yeah, man, that came off like a breeze. I am gonna just kind of hit these edges that were a bit sharp, just because it's gonna knock off anyway. All in all, the Quikrete 5000, this looks fantastic. It was easy to work with, but you know, there's not a lot of voids along the side as much as I thought there was going to be. We probably could have vibrated it a bit more, but this is gonna be a solid foundation that's gonna hold up for the life of the mini split, I'm sure. So honestly, Quikrete 5000, this is just kind of your basic concrete. You can't go wrong with it. It's gonna give you a good product. It's just gonna take a bit longer to cure and all that good stuff, but it's cheap and it works great. Let's find out how bad it is. Oh goodness. Wow. We've got major voids, not a lot of compaction. Let's check the whole thing out. We do have the remesh inside there. So, I mean, honestly, I think this would be okay. Let me know what you think. Do you think this is gonna hold up over time, or do you think I should just rip it out and do a new one? But what I could do is just put some resurfacer over it to get a nice smooth finish to keep kind of the water and the rain out. But yeah, this is definitely how not to pour a slab. It's 3 o'clock, so it's been about 4 hours. But I do think this is totally dry at this point. All right, let's see how she is. Oh yeah, that looks great. I tell you what, shout out to the WD-40. That just came off like nothing. Just do a little tooling right here. See these edges? I mean, it's like, look at that. That is just total solid fill. This rapid set is pretty awesome, I gotta say. By the way, obviously not sponsored by Rapid Set or Quikrete. This is just what I grabbed. This is by far the best one in my opinion, just as far as ease of use, how quick it was, how quick it set up. 4 hours ago, we were poking holes in buckets, and now we got this. So if you're looking for ease of use and quickness and you want to pay a little bit extra premium, I think the Rapid Set Cement is the way to go. Now, if you want to see how I use gravel instead of concrete for my shed foundation, I got the video queued up for you right there. I'm Brad. Until next time, get out there and build something awesome.